Dave Brower, another decent price there in the 7th race. Cyrix makes 9-2 winner. Believe back-to-back 9-2 shots now to kick off that pick 4 this afternoon. We move into stakes territory here. We both think the favorite may bounce back at this type of spot. The 2 Capricornus, son of Cantab, always just been so good of late. He won his Wellwood Elimination, came back, was a runner-up in the final as a favorite, but still put in a very solid bid there. He's already earned over $155,000. 400 Marcus Melander in the connections. He appears to be well spotted here, maybe just a bit further along right now than many of these colts.
Gabe, you should take a bow for that pick in race 7. You gave out the exacta box too, which came back a really nice price. Congrats on that. Now, as for Capricornus, you can't get a better 2-year-old trotting colt than this. Again, comes from the very powerful Marcus Melander barn. This is son of Cantab Hall out of a Glide Master mare purchased for $110,000 at Harrisburg by the JJ Racing Stable out of Delray Beach, Florida. So I just had a minute to look it up on Pathway. Let me get the name of that owner there. Jelena Fironova, and they have her listed as owning 1 horse. So this is it. So if you picked one out, you couldn't do a better job of picking one out than this. I will ask Marcus or Tim in the winner's circle afterwards why they think this horse needs to be raced from off the pace. There could be a reason for that. He has shown speed before, and we'll see what Tim opts to do here. He's got the inside post edge on a couple of the other favorites from the outside. So clearly the one to beat. You mark that as your lock of the day in your program comments in the official Red Mile program, and I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I agree. 7-5 seems actually generous at this point. I thought he may be shorter than that, so we'll see if we do see those connections trackside after race 8 here. Things do open up a bit underneath this big favorite. I went to the 4 Eli Deal. He was close in that Pennsylvania Sire Stakes final. We, of course, know who he's been racing against. Real Cool Sam, who was likely the top trotting colt in North America, at least at this point. And then 2 back, Dave, you'll see, was a runner-up, just beating 3/4 of a length by. Our top selection here, Capricornus. He's got some tactical speed. Dexter Dunn on the bike. Trainer Okas Fonstead already took the first stakes division on this afternoon's card. So Eli Deal, you seem to be close here.
He likes to finish second, and so does my underneath pick. And there's a couple of different ways you could go here. I'm going to go with Big Oil and Team Orange Crush here. 6 starts, a half a dozen so far, 3 second-place finishes. So Big Oil so far showing that he likes to chase. He's a homebred for the Allen family out of Father Patrick. Love the good speed here. Just throw out that last race in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes Championship. Impossible first over trip against the most impressive Real Cool Sam. I'm hoping he fires right out of there, too. We know Andy is always aggressive here, and the exacta probable's not too bad if you do have a firm opinion on who you think could be second.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. I think if you like the 3 or 4, you have to like the other because they both come in a very similar form. A Big Oil, that tough trip at the Pennsylvania final, but he has been second and beaten just a half length there by Real Cool Sam. They both got tactical speed. They've both been trotting quite well on that Pennsylvania circuit, so I think it's impossible to like one of those 2 colts underneath without liking the other. I know you also tossed on the 6 Synergy. This was a colt that appeared to pack plenty of talent when he first burst on the scene when we were up this summer at the Meadowlands. He actually raced in the Peter Howden there, was finished 5th. Just an impossible post in the Wellwood. Wouldn't shock me to see him bounce back here this afternoon as well.
Yeah, he's going to need to bounce back because with his half a dozen starts so far, he was sharp and ready to go. And, over his last couple, especially up in the Wellwood there, we could throw out the race from post 10, but I was a little disappointed with him in the elimination when he gave it up on the front end. So you never know. Like we say, sometimes it's a little bit of a long season for these young trotters as well. So bounce back opportunity for him. And then I read some comments from trainer George Ducharme about number 5, Burcury J, who I used on New York Sire Stakes Night of Champions, and he just never really got untracked until late. I don't know why, but Mr. Ducharme said he could not wait to get here to the Red Mile. He thinks his colt will stretch out big time on the big track. And, of course, Dave Miller will be handling him. He did win with him in his last tune-up for that Sire Stakes final.
Yeah, he just got caught at an impossible spot there in Batavia. We just saw Colt scoring down at the track. Dave, 8, it's academic. I could promise you Chris Page did not make that drive from Central Ohio down here to Lexington today and unless he thought this colt had a major shot. He bounced back at Delaware with a very nice and convincing win there over a good colt, Buxton. We're going to see it action here tomorrow afternoon in a late closing event. Made a break in that Ohio Sire Stakes final, but I think we may be able to chalk that up to the off track that night.
Well, there were a lot of horses that did not enjoy that surface that evening. Unfortunate when you were good enough to make the final. Other than that, like you said earlier, he's been basically an all-or-nothing colt so far. 6 wins from 8 starts here. He was supposed to win that Ohio Breeders' Championship during Jug Week. He was big favorite, and he just overpowered the field. Chris Page drove with confidence, and we'll see what he can do from post 8 as the wings of the gate are ready to open.
Yes, the Four Roses Bourbon starting 8 has moved into position. It's post time for the...
He was